And welcome back to our community. Susie Thomas visiting with Aubrey Miller. She is the founder of Red Buds Suds, that 4-in-1 bath bar. What are the 4 things?
4 things are shampoo, conditioner, body soap, and shaving cream.
Now, body soap, can you use it on your face?
You can. I would recommend, if you tend to have sensitivities on your face, not to. Okay. It has coconut oil, which can be comedogenic. I never know how to say that word. But most of my customers are totally great using it on their face.
Yeah, either one, yeah. Because I know there are even some coconut oil bars for, yes.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've heard use oil if you have oily skin, because oil attracts oil, and that actually is a way to draw out the extra oils. Yes.
Yeah.
It's counterintuitive.
Yeah, it is.
How much study did you have to do to get all this started?
Yeah, so it's a continuous process of educating myself. But I literally, when I started making soap, checked out every book on soap making in the entire Cleveland Library Public System, that CLUVNet system, and just read. I read like crazy because I wanted to learn everything about the formulation, about scent blending, about essential oils, all of that. And it's interesting because soap takes a month to cure from when you make it until when you can use it.
Really?
And so, yeah. So when I made the old-fashioned cold process method.
Okay, never knew that.
Yeah. So I made my first batch, and then I had a whole month to wait before I figured out whether or not it even would work as soap. And so I had that whole month of time to just kind of be reading and coming up with new ideas of what I wanted to do, so that if it did work right, when I made that, when I got the result, I knew exactly my next batches of what I wanted to do.
Weren't you just so tempted to just try it out?
I probably did.
Oh my goodness. So do you personally still make all of the soap?
It's a good question. I actually don't. I have 2 part-time employees that help me out. And so one of them, I initially trained her to do, the trimming, the boxing, all of that. And as I got busier and busier and busier, I kept teaching her more and more aspects of it until now she is fully making all of the soap, which is
great
so
to just be the supervisor now.
Yeah. Well, it lets me do things like this, share about the soap and take it on the road, sell it, which has been really, really helpful for our business.
So you're able to go out to craft shows, and where will we find you out and about? Yeah,
so here locally, I do the 720 market and some other, outdoor
For people
shows.
who don't know, tell us where that is.
Yeah, the 720 market is in North Canton. They do 3 a year, one in the spring, one in the summer, and one in the fall. And they're at various places, but they almost always do at least one a year at Gervasi Vineyards. It's beautiful. It's so much fun.
Yep.
So yeah, we do that. And then actually we have found, because our bar works so well in the outdoors, it really connects well with people who are enjoying adventure and who kind of have that like love of nature as well. So we do a lot of outdoor festivals. There's one down in Dayton that's pretty big that the Dayton Metro Parks puts on. We go to we've gone to Virginia, we've gone to Texas, we go to the world's largest paddle sports event up in Wisconsin.
What does your
we
booth,
go all over.
What does your booth look like so we can identify you?
We're pretty easy to spot, actually. We have a New Camp camper. They're campers made down in Sugar Creek, and it's an adorable little teardrop. And so you can see the Red Bud Suds sunshine and mountains, and so we sell it out of the camper when we can get the camper in. Otherwise, we're in a tent. But it smells, it's the best. It'll be the best smelling.
Best smelling. Just follow your nose.
Yes.
And you'll find Red Bud Suds. How else can we buy it? Do you have a website? Can we buy it online?
Yep, you can buy it online. redbudsuds.com is our website. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook as well, just at Red Bud Suds. It's a good way to follow kind of the inside scoop of what we do and why we do it. And then there's a growing number of shops as well that carry our soaps. So you can find it at Avenue Arts downtown in Canton. We just started selling it at the Mustard Seed Market in Solon, which is pretty cool.
Sure, yeah.
There's a bunch of shops. Our website has the list of all the places you can find us. We can
find everywhere that you are on your website.
Yes.
redbudsuds.com. I love that you were talking about relationship building, and you're doing one collaboration for a special day coming up in a couple of days for Mother's Day. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So one of the things we love to do, and partly to help promote clean water and healthy ecosystems is we've partnered with some nonprofits to do a special scent, and then 50% of the sale of those bars goes to that nonprofit. We did our first one last winter with Save the Boundary Waters campaign. So there's a mine that's being proposed to be built on the edge of this pristine wilderness that I told you I started my story out with up in Minnesota. So we did a fundraiser for them, made the Boundary Waters bar. And so then this spring, that went over really well. We raised over $2,500 for them in about a month, which was awesome. So then this spring I thought, okay, there's this stretch of time from Earth Day to Mother's Day. I had this idea of doing a Love Your Mother campaign just to promote both Earth Care as well as loving our moms and how we can do both of those things. And so we approached a nonprofit called the Adventure Mamas. So they promote maternal wellness through outdoor adventure, kind of redefining motherhood or taking back this idea of self-care. How can we, when we care for ourselves well, we're also able to care for our families even better.
Yes.
So just a really beautiful message. And they tell some really raw and true stories about motherhood that sometimes aren't always the shining, happy moments, but are very real and very important. So we reached out to them to see if they would want to collaborate with us, and they said yes. So we made a bar. It's called Grit and Grins for all the adventuresome mamas in your life, or for you if you are one. And 50% of each of those bars, the sale will go to helping support their good work. So
wonderful. Yeah. How do you choose?
Typically, we look specifically for organizations that are working in land and water conservation, especially water, since SUDS needs water, and those things just go together so well. But for this one, because it was with Mother's Day and Earth Day, we thought that would be a good fit too. And I truly believe as well. This is kind of a message we talk about a lot. As a brand, is this idea of when we care for ourselves, we are better able to not only care for others, but also to be more mindful of our environmental impact. I think we kind of forget how in daily life we're so busy. We think we don't have time for things. And I think we actually have a lot more time than we think we do. Sometimes it's just the stress in our lives that kind of makes things seem more frantic than what they really need to be. So I think one of my jobs in promoting this idea of how can we simplify is partly how can we slow down. And when we stop, just take a beat to breathe, to do a gentle daily ritual like showering with a thoughtfully clean shower bar. It can be that thing that can kickstart other good actions. So I think that's part of my hope with both the company as well as the product as well as these collaborations.
Well, that's a good message for everyone as well as for moms. I think when you think about it, how much time do we waste worrying about how little time we have?
Yes.
And you just kind of think, well, I could have gotten something done right in that 5 minutes of fretting and use that a little more productively. And like you say, there is something very productive about doing nothing.
There really is.
Taking a beat and taking a breath. So you are protecting Mother Nature. Wow, you're going to be blessing moms everywhere this Mother's Day.
Yeah.
And tell us like a whole range of the types of products, or is it one bar that has all the different essential oils, or do you have a variety of bars to choose from?
Yeah, so we have basically one base, and then we use we have 5 different scents, and then a couple of these extra custom bars for these special collaborations that we've done. So we have a couple citrus. We have the citrus sunshine and a lemongrass bar. We have the cedar one that's a lot more earthy that has the activated charcoal in it I was telling you about earlier.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and then my personal favorite is called the Sea Clay Rest Day.
Ooh.
And it's just got a very smooth, gentle scent. It has actual sea clay in it that helps just add a little extra silkiness to the lather. Makes it even especially good for shaving because it adds that slip that you want for the razor. Just very, very refreshing and delightful.
This sounds like spa day material.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
It's like the most luxurious, but yet also the most basic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So interesting. All right. I'm so glad that we've got time to jump back to one thing you mentioned, that you have a relationship with someone in Ghana for some of the ingredients that you're using. How on earth did you start to become, internationally connected to be able to do what you're doing?
Yeah, that is another example of just simply following curiosity. It's really important to me to be as sustainable as possible with how I source my ingredients. And it's a big challenge because, most of the suppliers, when you go to get coconut oil or whatever, you're getting from these big distributors. That's how we get the better pricing, et cetera. But I continuously ask myself, how can I make this better? And so as I was researching that and just asking other makers, there's a soap consultant that I work with as well, just said, can you give me a direct source of any, co-ops or connections? And she recommended, it's a wonderful organization called Global Mamas. So they have a whole network of women in Ghana that are producing shea butter. They also do some really cool textile designs.
So you're helping them as well.
Yeah. It's really, really cool. So we're super proud of that and hope to be finding more ingredient connections like that.
Well, how does that work? It's this one organization that already has the connections? Because, you can't pick up a phone and say, hi, I'm a mom in Northeast Ohio and I want to make soap.
Yeah, no. And that's one of the things as being a super small business owner is you have to get kind of scrappy and you have to leverage those relationships. So, I was able to find an organization that already has a network of connections. If you're a big company like Dr. Bronner's or I'm trying to think some of these other Toms or something. Burt's Bees, exactly. Yeah. You might be able to, start your own, sustainably grown whatever where it grows best. But for us little guys, we got to find those connections. So yeah, they have a wonderful network.
What would you tell somebody who's listening to you right now saying, gosh, I have an idea, but I don't know what to do with it? What would you say?
I would say do your research. Connect with others who have either done something similar or who are in a similar or who are like a couple steps ahead of where you want to be. Ask them questions. The biggest thing that I learned running a business is a lot different than loving to do something. And so it's important both to wear the hat of maker or the producer of the thing that you want to have a business around, but it's also important to know the business side of things and how you'll actually make money doing it. So I would say talk with as many people as you can, just be really curious. And if it's the kind of thing where you just know you have to do it, whether you know all the information or not, because you won't, you just got to jump in and you just got to get started and you'll learn along the way.
Well, awesome advice. We've been speaking with Aubrey Miller, Red Bud Suds. Go to redbudsuds.com for more information, and a happy Mother's Day to you. A little in advance, about a month early.
Yes.
And but to all those moms who are going to be enjoying using that 4-in-1 bar for Mother's Day, thanks so much for joining us in our community.
Thank you so much, Susie.